Welcome to the Shabby And Man podcast. We are partners, parents, podcasters, broadcasters,
and everything else in between. Namaskar, dosto.
We've got a lot to talk about since...
we skipped last week because we both were a bit poorly. I use the word poorly. I mean, poorly, does it mean you're ill or... You're not too ill, but you're illish.
Yes.
That's what I mean poorly by. We had a bad coughing cold, basically.
Which we still do, actually, but I think it's only slightly better than last week, and it's something that's going around. Everybody we know is coughing or sneezing or recovering from man flu or COVID-like symptoms, or call it what you will.
You know how it is. I think if one person catches it, it inevitably goes to the person who's near them most of the time. What I'm trying to say is that you've given me this cough.
No, of course not. I think you had it first, or maybe it was even our son. We don't know. But it doesn't help that, one day it's raining, one day it's hot, one day it's cold. I blame global warming and, of course, a global pandemic.
Well, do you think this one day hot, one day cold has just started this week?
No, but it's now suddenly become very prominent and intensified, as you can see. Glaciers melting and, ice caps melting and all of that. This is the manifestation of that.
Sorry.
Extreme weather.
Have you been watching some documentary or something?
Yeah, indeed I have been. And I know doomsday is nigh, as they say. The only thing that's happened is, for me to stop myself, this is true of when I'm doing radio as well. My voice might sound a little different, because for me to stop myself from coughing, I have to keep my voice pretty much in a straight line.
I don't understand what that
means.
On
the graph.
I don't understand what that means. Keep my voice in a straight line. What, this trajectory?
Yeah, on the graph is what I mean. If people know what an audio file looks like, then I can't... excuse me. I can't emote too much. That's that. Anyway, we have a lot to talk about. Let's start with... Why don't you do some of the talking, since you can clearly tell I'm about to cough.
I would have, but you need a gap to say something.
Oh, the expression is you need a word in edgeways, but carry on. Let's start with a tribute. That is something that we wanted to do last week, but we weren't well. Pankaj Udhas.
Yeah, this Pankaj Udhas thing is very sad, because I kind of grew up, I used to hear my uncles in the late 80s probably play his cassettes, early 90s. So it's kind of imbibed inside me. I know a lot of his songs without realizing I know a lot of his songs. Not just his film songs, Chitti Hai and all, everyone knows. I'm talking about all the ghazals that I used to hear. I forgot the name of the album. It was Trannam or something. It's a fantastic album of his, which had all those Sharab Wale Gaane
and I think it took people by surprise, because I don't think anybody knew he was ailing, although they did say that it was a long-standing illness and he died of pancreatic cancer, but it did take people by surprise. And of course it is a massive loss to those who listen to Ghazals and appreciate Ghazals.
And I think between him and Anup Jalota, I think they brought Ghazals to the mainstream.
Jagjit Singh,
obviously. We'll talk about Jagjit Singh, because yesterday...
Yeah.
Can we bring in that segue?
Yeah.
We went to see a concert yesterday in the Royal Festival Hall. Always fantastic, always wonderful. It was...
Pratibha Singh
Baghel with an orchestra.
Yeah.
With her musicians and an orchestra. And she played a lot of Jagjit Singh ghazals. I think Jagjit Singh was someone that she really looked up to, because she sang quite a few of his ghazals.
Yeah.
There were ghazals from Ghulam Ali. There was Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan songs. Obviously Bollywood songs, Asha Bhosle and Lata Mangeshkar songs. It was
Umrao Jan and the
great evening out.
Yes.
So it was like a best of great classics.
Yeah.
Talking about ghazals, Jagjit Singh, you're right, because you played a lot of it. But for me, Pankaj Udhas was also just as important, because I heard so many of his cassettes.
I actually wasn't personally massively into his music, only because I didn't know much about him. But of course, you can't discount the fact that everybody knew him as an established ghazal singer. And some of the latest stuff that he did.
Did you grow up hearing his songs?
Not really, no.
Oh, I did.
So I think my choice of music growing up was heavily influenced by what my sister was listening to and what my mum was listening to. And I think my mum was more partial to Jagjit Singh, definitely.
So what, you didn't have your own musical thoughts?
Not until I was at uni, I think. growing up, and Bollywood music, of course, is predominantly a big part of anyone's life, especially if you've grown up in India.
But I can't imagine our kids ever saying that. Oh, we like to hear the music our parents heard. They'll never do that.
No, you're influenced by it.
They're not.
Yeah, could be, but you're influenced by it. But you just opened by saying that, oh, I remember my uncles listening to
that's how. I'm saying that's how that's how I heard it. Otherwise, maybe I wouldn't have heard it. But I'm saying I heard. They used to play this Pankaj Udhas cassette used to get played a lot.
Yeah, so that's what happens. The first memories, first recollections of what you.
No, they used to play many other things which I can't remember and I probably didn't like, but I enjoyed it. Isn't the Pankaj Udhas?
Yeah, and from the tributes that came in, you could tell that clearly he had influenced a lot of people, and he's obviously looked up to as one of the contemporary masters in the genre of Ghazals. But moving on from music to you mentioned the Royal Festival Hall yesterday at the concert. I was at the House of Commons, another iconic landmark in London, a few days before that, and this was because my station got an award. So normally I think October, November, December is considered award season in the media, but considering we're recording it on the night of the Oscars.
It's the Oscars right now.
Yeah. So it was again one of those things where each time you go to the House of Commons you realize just how historic and how beautiful it is. And especially as you enter, there's a hall where I remember queuing up for 8-9 hours to see the late Her Majesty the Queen's body when it was lying in state for 3 days.
That wasn't House of Commons.
That wasn't the House of Commons. It's just before the House of Commons. As you enter, that is the first hall. There's a name for it. I forget what it is. Apparently, Winston Churchill's body was kept there as well. So, each time we pass that place, it just brings back memories of queuing for 8.5 hours just to be there for like less than 5 minutes. But what a memorable day that was. So we've been visiting quite a few of these iconic venues. You tell me that Royal Festival Hall is a place that you used to go a lot to in the 80s.
That's right. My dad, my dad's friend, organized a thing called the Sanskritic Festival, Sanskritic Art Festival. So all these names who probably weren't that popular in the 70s, Hari Prasad Chaurasia and all those people, they were all there.
Yeah, Bhim Sen Joshi, Shiv Kumar Sharma, Rajan Sajan Mishra, Uma Sharma,
Kathak dancer. Lots of very famous now, but iconic artists came through. And I used to go to the Royal Festival Hall.
Yeah, and you're saying that even the Beatles were connected as well because they were massive fans of Ravi Shankar, who must have been.
George Harrison was connected.
Yeah.
And Glenda Jackson. So it was cool days.
Speaking of visiting iconic landmarks, I was also at the Savoy recently. Again, it's all happened so quickly. The elite.
For anyone who doesn't know, because just let's not forget, we have a lot of listeners abroad.
Yes.
Savoy is one of the most famous hotels in this country.
Not just in this country, I think internationally.
In the United Kingdom, yeah.
Internationally as well, it's considered one of the queen of hotels.
Yeah, I think the 3 old hotels that everyone knows is the Savoy, the Ritz, and maybe the Dorchester. They've been around a long, long time.
Yeah. And it's quite iconic, and to have a bridal show there is quite prestigious, I suppose, and it's quite beautiful. And each time you step into the Savoy, you're reminded of just how historic it is and how closely interlinked to the stars who were a part of the London social scene.
The amount of guests, superstar guests.
Yeah. I saw even in the room where we were carrying out interviews for my station, there were framed photographs of Agatha Christie celebrating, I think it was the 25th year of the Mousetrap, because now it's, I think, been running for 70 years?
70 years, yeah.
70 years. It was the 25th anniversary of the Mousetrap, so Agatha Christie cut a cake, which was, I think, shaped like a knife or whatever it was, a dagger, at the Savoy. Then you have Frank Sinatra, you name it. I mean, anyone who was anyone. Even going back,
Elizabeth Taylor,
Richard Burton, Rita Hayworth, all these, people who were famous at the turn of the century when movies were just kind of coming through. Anyone who's anyone and who could afford it was at the Savoy. So it was quite iconic. It was quite a beautiful day as well. There you go. Royal Festival Hall, House of Commons, Savoy, hitting it all within a space of a few days was quite beautiful.
When you think about things which are grand and luxurious and so iconic, I think we should give a passing mention to this wedding that took place in India.
Oh, the 3-day extravaganza you're talking about.
It wasn't even a wedding. It was like a pre-wedding.
They're calling it a pre-wedding. That was the hashtag. Of course, we're talking about the Ambanis here. Mukesh Ambani, the 10th or is it the 11th richest man in the world? I think he's the 11th.
It doesn't matter. He's the richest man in India.
Yeah, the richest man in Asia. Richest man in Asia.
Yeah.
And his youngest son.
And a couple of the richest men in the world came to the wedding.
That's right. Mark Zuckerberg,
Bill Gates,
many others, Ivanka Trump, and influential kind of, not celebrities, but influential people were there. And it was all hosted not in Mumbai but in Jamnagar, which is essentially Ambani HQ, which is where their success story started. Gujarat. And virtually all of Bollywood was there dancing to their tune. And
really, they were all there dancing to the tune.
With the
all three Khans on stage together.
It's something which has never been seen before.
But it was trumped by Rihanna.
Yeah,
she totally stole the show.
Before that, when
something like $9 million for her set. It's the first time she's come out in 4 years,
and she wasn't even there for 24 hours.
And she
flew in and flew out.
And she only gave birth was it last year in August or something?
Yeah. And mind you, this is their youngest kid, their son, Anand Ambani, who's getting married. Previously, when their daughter and their eldest son got married, they had Beyonce. They had quite a few other stars as well. So
I was looking at social media, and there seemed to be all these, all the different watches that he was wearing, and each watch more expensive than the other.
Yeah.
You name the Ottoman Piguet or the Richard Mille, he was wearing them all.
Yeah.
Is it Richard Mille or Richard Mille?
No idea.
All right, carry on.
But so this was the predominant story last weekend. Everyone was talking about it. Not just showbiz reporters, but even things like the Economic Times and even things like International Herald Tribune and people here saying that, the richest man in Asia, his son is getting married and what a party it is. And of course, Bollywood was obsessing over day 1 looks and day 2 looks and day 3 looks, and again, as you're saying, the 3 Khans on stage together, never seen before.
The best bit was someone said, "Look, apne aukad mein aage sare," because he put most of the stars on the same bus.
Yeah,
and they had to catch the bus to
from the airport to the hotel kind of thing. But everybody was giving a little sneak peek of their little. It was almost as though they'd gone glamping, because some of them, like the badminton star Saina Nehwal, she was the first one to post a behind the scenes of this is what my tent looks like, and it was really luxurious, as you would imagine. So there was a lot of that going on. The Ambani wedding, who wore what, who ignored whom, who arrived with whom. Who Diljit Dosanjh was most happy to serenade on stage, who he
did he serenade everyone on stage?
No, I think it was Kareena and Kiara mainly. And even things like who gave a cold shoulder to whom, and there was a lot going on behind the scenes.
Isn't there Diljit Dosanjh is in that new movie The Crew?
Yes, he's in The Crew. And much as I feel that the Ambanis, being who they are, being how rich they are, of course they're perfectly entitled to host their son's wedding on the size and scale that they would love to.
No, but they said, fair play to them, this is not even 0.001% of his wealth.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that, human psychology tells you that the most addictive thing in the world is not money, it's fame. You can clearly see they don't lack money, as you're saying. It's a speck of their wealth. Clearly they want to be like Bollywood stars. Clearly they crave fame.
No,
that's all you can. Yeah, because if you think about it, if Mukesh Ambani were to walk down a street...
No, but you're wrong there. He's already famous.
No, that's not what I mean. If Mukesh Ambani and his wife and his daughter and his kids, if you identified them in Selfridges or elsewhere, of course people will say, oh, there they are. You may or may not go up to them for a selfie. Imagine Shah Rukh Khan being spotted somewhere.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense.
It does make sense. I think you can so clearly see that this Neeta Ambani wants to be a film star. That's what she wants to be.
That's like saying Bill Gates and all, they're not as famous as George Clooney.
They don't want to be. They're as famous as they are. And they are not as famous as George Clooney. Of course, they're not traffic stopping famous. But this Neeta Ambani and all are, hanging out with the stars, doing their dance, doing she pretends that she's a film star. I think they all do. And doing exactly what these Bollywood stars do. I feel it is them hankering for the kind of fame that the Shah Rukh Khans and all have.
I totally disagree with you.
That's my assessment.
I totally disagree with you because they could have done this 30 years ago if they wanted to. They had enough money for.
So why didn't they?
Years.
No,
exactly.
Because 30 years ago they were that much naive and younger.
No.
30 years ago the children were toddlers.
So what's going to do with the children? You said that she wants to be a film star. She wants
So
to be
she was probably raising them 30 years ago. Maybe he wasn't the richest man in Asia 30 years
and
ago.
it makes your theories
No,
debunked.
absolutely not. I just feel that
It's not
she so
suddenly she woke up one
desperately
day.
wants to
No.
be a film star.
They could have.
I, in fact, call it an absolutely obscenely crass display of wealth. Nobody really wants to know who they're wearing on day 5 and 10 and day 15.
No, you don't want to know. The rest of the media, have you not seen how much they want to know just because you don't like it? I
No,
don't
but
know
a
why
lot of
you're-
people have been
why
criticizing
you're-
it as well.
Why you're cussing her and saying, oh, she said you must be a film star.
It looks like it. Definitely does.
Not to be. I think they could have done this 20 years ago if they wanted to.
20 years ago, their kids were not of marriageable age.
It's not about the kids. She could have made her own movies and started them if she wanted to. So that doesn't hold any water in my mind.
What did you make of it then?
It was all right. I thought it was okay.
And this is only round 1. The actual wedding is in July.
Exactly. So I mean, the richest people, you expect them to.
Yeah, but there has been a lot of criticism
If they didn't do it, there would be a lot of criticism as well.
No, of course not.
Of course there would be.
The thousands of people who are very rich in the world, but everybody throws weddings like this.
They can afford to throw it. It's just a speck of the thing. So I don't understand why you're equating that with suddenly, oh, she wants to be famous.
I think so.
I don't.
I feel that she wants the kind of fame that movie stars have.
She's already got it. She's got more than that.
Of course not. She's got money. You're confusing money with fame.
No, they're very famous. They are a very, very famous family.
But they're not the kind of famous people who people would run up to and want to take selfies with.
Yeah, I know. But they're still famous.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, moving on. What else happened besides the Ambani wedding?
Many more things happened. It was International Women's Day.
That's right. It was International Women's Day. And as it happens, 2 days before International Women's Day, a movie came out called Lapata Ladies, directed by somebody we happen to know actually from our radio days, Kiran Rao, who is best known now as Amir Khan's ex-wife.
No, you chatted with her, didn't you?
I chatted with her, and from all accounts I can tell that it's really shaping up to be a film that a lot of people have really liked and said that, it celebrates feminism in the most, what should I say, non-sermony...
non-sermony?
Yeah, way.
I don't know what that means even.
As in, it doesn't preach about,
Oh, I'm with you now, like a sermon.
Yes.
No. I didn't have a clue what you meant there first. But it hasn't done very well at the box office though, has it?
No, I mean, it is a medium budget film and there aren't any well-known names. Ravi Kishan drives the story. He is quite well-known, I believe, with the TV watching audiences. Nonetheless, they're saying that it's an important film. It has dollops of humor. It talks about, at the end of the day, it talks about obviously enlightenment, empowerment, uplifting, women who are hardly ever given a chance in India, that kind of thing. But it's done it in a very tongue-in-cheek way. So it's got a lot of very good reviews from people like Shabana Azmi and people who say that, we should champion content which doesn't necessarily...
You mean people from the industry?
From the industry. But even otherwise, I mean, they're saying that it's a well-made film. A well-made film. Somebody else...
Karan Johar also said he liked it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He was gushing about the film on day 1 because they did a little screening for the fraternity before it opened. I also got to chit-chat with Madhavan because he's done a supernatural thriller for the first time, which is called Shaitan. Madhavan, Ajay Devgan and Jyotika. And again, people are talking about
He's quite funny. I heard his interview with you.
Yeah, and people are talking about how A-listers, he, of course, completely gave full credit to Ajay Devgan, how A-listers are willing to... Yeah, he's an A-lister, absolutely. Yeah. That how they are willing to champion genres like supernatural thrillers, which weren't earlier considered, like mainstream films. So it's...
Do they do well in it? I know that supernatural thrillers do really well
in Hollywood.
In the West.
Yeah, they do.
Whether it's Hollywood or Italian,
so that's what they're saying, that in India it's always been a very niche market. But now for big stars to drive the story, that's what brings people in. They can decide later whether they like it or not. But the fact is that if you have big names attached, chances are a lot of people will watch it. Anything else?
Anything else we did exciting this week?
Well, I was celebrating 9 years of being back on Sunrise Radio as well. That happened in March as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. There were...
So it's 9 years gone in a flash?
9 years gone in a flash, yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
I'm going to say yeah, you're going to say yep? Okay.
So I'm hoping that March has got off to an action-packed start, and that the momentum will stay in April.
I'm so confused. Meaning?
We had the occasion to visit so many historic places all within the space of a few days. We ended up, the Ambani wedding was a 3-day affair which lasted.
Abhi to March shuru hi hua hai. We still got so much of March to go through.
Yeah, there's still, actually, from a Bollywood perspective, there's a lot happening in March.
Jump straight to April, that's why I thought.
Yeah, I'm thinking of warmer days ahead.
Oh. What's happening in Bollywood? What do you mean?
A lot of movies coming out. There's The Crew, there's the Chamkila biopic, there's a lot happening. Very exciting things which people have been talking about for years and months and years.
Aren't you going to see a movie or something this week?
Yes, I am. It's called Fighter.
Fighter?
Not Fighter, Yodha.
What was the Fighter you've seen?
I've seen already.
Yeah.
In fact, it's the only movie I've seen first day first show in a long time.
Who's in?
Siddharth Malhotra. So we'll talk about it in the next episode, I'm sure.
Okay then. Should we say bye then?
Yes, I think we should.
Oh, let's hope your cough improves a bit.
Yes.
So
in 2 weeks' time, I'm definitely going and seeing the GP as well. It's lingered for very, very long.
Okay then. Till next time, everyone. Take care.
Bye-bye.